Testing, testing. Testing, 1, 2.
Good evening, if you could please. Good evening, if you can start to find your seats. Is that working? A little muffled, right? Yeah, that's what I thought. There you go. All right, good evening, everyone. We have a very exciting meeting tonight. It's always one of our favorite of the year, where the Board of Education and the Cabinet Administration recognize our Teachers of the Year from our 7 buildings and our district-wide Teacher of the Year. We're so thrilled to have a great crowd tonight and have you with us. We have a wonderful ceremony planned, and I hope you enjoy it. I know you will. And if everyone can please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. And please remain standing. We're going to have our national anthem, but before then I want to turn it over to our Master of Ceremonies for tonight, our Assistant Superintendent for Human Services, Mr. Edwin Smith.
Thank you, everyone. At this time, I would like to invite Walt Whitman Jr., Sarah Brusuel, to the podium to sing our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, dost that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Thank you so much, Sarah. I know we got you for one more year, so I expect you back next year. Wonderful job. At this time, it's with great pleasure that I introduce Walt Whitman High School senior and ex officio board member, Gracie DeMarinis, who will be performing Sonata No. 3, Movement 1 by Vivaldi. Gracie, thank you so much for that performance. Amazing. Another round of applause for Gracie DeMarinis. I think we need a round of applause for her parents that probably had to carry that instrument at some point in time in their lives. There's no doubt about it. Good evening, Dr. D'Elia, Mr. Ciapetta, members of the Board of Education, my fellow administrators, teachers, families, community members. I would like to officially welcome you to South Huntington's Teacher of the Year celebration. Before we begin, I would like to thank my friend and colleague, Ms. Joanne Padilla. Ms. Padilla has been working hard behind the scenes to ensure tonight's program runs smoothly. Running around Huntington, picking up flowers, making sure our beautiful apples are ordered on time to be here with us tonight to celebrate all our teachers. So I sincerely thank you from the bottom of my heart. A round of applause for Ms. Padilla. Also, thank you to Liz DeMonte, Lee Tyrell, and Christina Wright from South Huntington's Public Relations team for their hard work preparing our presentation tonight. A round of applause for them. And finally, a special thank you to the 7 educators we are here to honor this evening. I am truly humbled to share this space with each one of you tonight. Please join me in a huge round of applause for all our teachers. At this time, it's my pleasure to introduce our Superintendent of Schools, Dr. Vito D'Elia.
Good evening, all. It is a true honor to stand before you tonight as we come together to celebrate one of the most cherished traditions we have here in South Huntington, our annual Teacher of the Year celebration. Move the page. As we celebrate tonight, I ask that we remember the amazing educators who have made South Huntington schools a cornerstone of our community. For a century, this district has been a place where young minds are nurtured, dreams are born, and futures are built. And at the heart of it all, as always, are our teachers. They are the ones who transform classrooms into places of discovery and open their eyes to a world where anything is possible. It is the teachers before us that add to this legacy and solidify not only their students' success, but their own individual accomplishments. The role of a teacher is one of the most profound and impactful professions in our society. I'm reminded of a powerful quote by John F. Kennedy. "A child miseducated is a child lost. Your work ensures that no child in South Huntington is lost. Instead, you guide them toward a future full of promise." Tonight, we have the privilege of honoring the teachers we have here who exemplify the very best. They have gone above and beyond to ignite a love of learning and a passion for tackling the unknown by creating an environment where every child feels valued and capable of achieving greatness. To our teachers being honored here tonight, thank you for your remarkable contributions and continued support of our students. Always remember, the work that you do matters. Not just today, but for all the days to come. You are the champions of our community, and we are forever grateful. Congratulations, and here's to another 100 years of success for the students and staff in the South Huntington School District. Thank you.
At this time, it's my pleasure to introduce Suffolk County Legislators Stephanie Bontempi and Rebecca Sannon. Can you please come to the podium?
Good evening, everyone. Legislator Bontempi and I share such an admiration of the incredible work of the school district and are so happy to be here this evening celebrating these amazing teachers. You know, I think it was Henry Adams who said, "A teacher impacts eternity. You can never tell where his or her influence stops because it continues." And that is the power that you bring into the school community. It's to shape the present moment, to love and nurture children, but it's also an impact that goes on and on and on and influences generations to come. And so we owe you an extraordinary debt of gratitude for the love that you pour into this community, for the way that you nurture children in the South Huntington School District. And I can tell you, every time I come to this district, I'm so impressed by the diversity of talent, the diversity of passion and inspiration in the students. And I actually get to experience that weekly in my office because I have 2 Whitman interns in my office as well. And it is just so impressive what happens in this magical school community. And it is a testament certainly to the families that are here tonight that nurture their children, but also so deeply to the extraordinary educators that are being honored here tonight. And so thank you for the amazing gift that you give our community and our society. We celebrate you today, but truly we uplift and celebrate you every day.
Well, is there much more to say? I think Rebecca said it all. But what I would love, could you just raise your hand so I actually know who the 7 teachers are? Yes, now. Wonderful, thank you. And just to add, I used to teach myself. I know how hard it can be at times. But I also know, I mean, all of us that are adults here, I think we can all think back, right, of that one teacher that really had an impact in our lives. You will clearly all be those teachers that somebody is going to talk about when they're an adult and reminisce about the wonderful things you did for them. So thank you for all your hard work. And congratulations, all of you.
Can I have actually the teachers come up and join us for a picture here? Thank you.
Oh, great, wonderful, thank you.
You'll come up here when we present the awards, if you can stand. Can you stand? Okay.
At this time, it's my pleasure to introduce South Huntington's Board of Education President, Mr. Nicholas Ciapetta.
Good evening, everyone. As I've often said over the years, this is one of the most special board meetings that we have throughout the year. And this year, of course, it remains the case. This year's a little extra special, though. This year, as Dr. D'Elia said, we're recognizing our 100th anniversary. It's been a time to celebrate our district's rich history and the key events that shaped us. To date, we've reflected upon our journey to the present and how our district has grown and changed throughout the years. But it is the people that make the place. And at the center of all of that is our teachers. Our 100 years would not be as great and certainly would not be as special without our fabulous educators. So tonight, our honorees represent not only the 2024-2025 school year, but you also represent the previous 99 years and all those who came before you. You stand on the shoulders of their great success, and your success can be traced to them. And I suspect as well that our 7 honorees will continue to shape our success as we enter our 2nd century. So I hope everyone has a wonderful night. We look forward to celebrating you and handing you out some certificates and awards. But that's just a small token of our gratitude and appreciation for everything that you do and all the lives that you change every day. Congratulations.
Please help me in welcoming our SHTA President, Mr. Rob Morris, to the podium, please.
Good evening, everyone. Tonight, we have the privilege of celebrating the exceptional educators who have gone above and beyond in shaping not only the minds, but also the hearts of their students. Eileen, Rena, Christine, Carolyn, Anissa, Elaine, and Carrie. Tonight, the spotlight is on you, and for very good reason. I know many of you might prefer to quietly continue your remarkable work without fanfare, but tonight it is about recognizing and honoring your extraordinary contributions. You have proven to be the best of the best, not just in the classroom, but throughout our school community. Your tireless dedication, creativity, and compassion have created an inclusive and loving learning environment for every student where they feel seen. As teachers, you constantly shine a light on your students' achievements, but tonight, please let the light shine on you. Let your smiles reflect not only the excitement you feel for your students' growth, but also the way your students, co-workers, and the entire school community see you. You are admired for your commitment, respected for your professionalism, and loved for the lasting impact you have on every life you touch. Congratulations to each of you on being named Teacher of the Year. You embody everything that makes a great educator, and we are so fortunate to have you as part of our South Huntington family. Thank you for everything you do, and congratulations.
All right, now, obviously the most important individuals in the room are teachers and our principals that are here to speak on their behalf tonight. And to kick off tonight's teacher presentations, it is my pleasure to introduce Countrywood's principal, Mr. Mitch Levy, and their Teacher of the Year, Ms. Rena Sanacola.
Good evening, Dr. D'Elia, Mr. Ciapetta, board members, cabinet, colleagues, and friends. It gives me great pleasure to introduce Countrywood's Teacher of the Year, Ms. Rena Sanacola. This evening, Ms. Sanacola is joined by her husband, Jimmy, her daughter, Sabrina, and several brothers and sisters-in-law. In addition, her other daughter in college and her parents in Las Vegas are watching proudly via live stream. Ms. Sanacola joined the Countrywood family 26 years ago and has been well loved and respected by staff, students, and parents alike since that time. In her years at Countrywood, Ms. Sanacola has taught both first and second grade. No matter what the assignment, Rena has always taken her new assignment in stride and done her job with professionalism and the utmost pride. Ms. Sanacola is always, and I mean always, the first one in the parking lot. You can pretty much set your clock to it. If her car is not in the parking lot, we're worried about her, and you know something is wrong. This is just one example of Ms. Sanacola's dedication to her students and the families of Countrywood and South Huntington. Over her career in South Huntington, Ms. Sanacola has been involved in many building and district initiatives, piloting various new series in math and ELA, updating report cards, hosting and mentoring student teachers, and participating in various interview committees. In addition, she has partnered with her colleagues to foster community outreach for a Veterans Day letter writing project, as well as an Acts of Kindness food drive. She participates in many of our PTA events after school and is a member of our Countrywood Teacher Band, providing voice and instrumentals for students during the holidays during arrival and dismissal. Ms. Sanacola is an excellent first grade teacher who builds, fosters, and maintains wonderful relationships with her students and their families. While in her classroom, she works tirelessly to create a structured, supportive, and engaging learning environment where all students feel safe and ready to learn and grow. She works well with her peers and collaborates with them to develop challenging instructional lessons that meet the diverse needs for all learners. She not only focuses on the academic needs of her students, but also focuses on educating the whole child, knowing that their social and emotional needs and growth are equally as important as the academic. She seamlessly adjusts her lessons and teaching to meet their varied needs from day to day, and challenges them to be their very best. She provides individual support and guidance to help them each grow and meet their personal goals, and sees in themselves their own unique strengths and skills. One of her students had the following to say about her. Miss Sanicola is smart, amazing, and kind. She greets us with joy each day, and her classroom is always decorated for the seasons and holidays. She makes us smart, and because she makes learning fun and helps us if we get something wrong. She never yells and is always encouraging. A parent had this to say about Miss Sanicola. The moment I entered her room, I immediately felt warmth and positivity. She has a smile on her face and greets you as if she's known you her whole life. She promotes a strong sense of community and makes her students feel valued, respected, and connected as a class family. She keeps her students' wants and needs above all things and fosters a positive learning environment. One more amazing thing about Rena is that she recently has written and published her own children's book entitled Nicolina's Gift, inspired by her students and illustrated by her daughter Sabrina. The book focuses on a child's discovery of patience, tolerance, and teamwork, and through the eyes of a child. I had a chance to read it, and the book truly embodies Miss Sanicola's belief of caring not only about the students' academic needs, but their social and emotional needs as well. Rena, this is truly amazing, and for those of you who are interested, the book is available on Amazon, and like all things Amazon, you can have it tomorrow. Rena. We are proud to have Rena represent Countrywood as our Teacher of the Year. Congratulations.
Congratulations, we're going to gift you an apple, of course. Congratulations.
Yeah, so fancy.
We'll keep them in the picture. I think. Yeah.
Please help me in welcoming Principal of Oakwood Primary Center, Dr. Annie McCallion, and their Teacher of the Year, Ms. Christine LeClaire.
Good evening, Dr. D'Elia, Mr. Ciapetta, Board of Education, Cabinet, families, students, and staff. Please join me in congratulating Oakwood's Teacher of the Year, our very own Library Media Specialist, Ms. Christine LeClaire. Christine is joined this evening by her parents, John and Maureen, her fiance, Joel, her daughters, Kitty, Millie, and Violet, and her son-in-law, Derek. Of course, our Oakwood family is here to celebrate as well. Christine's connection to South Huntington began in 1997 as a parent, resident, and active community member. Over the years, she has volunteered on numerous school committees and community organizations, including the PTA Council, Girl Scouts Troop Leader, YMCA, Women's Wellness, and a variety of charity groups. This marked the beautiful beginning of her journey, sharing her passion for being a part of children's lives and her love for South Huntington. In February 2016, Christine was proudly named Oakwood's Library Media Specialist. In education, we often use acronyms to define aspects of the profession. Tonight, I'm adding one more just for Christine. FIT, F-I-T. Fun, innovative, and team player. When I reflect on all that Ms. LeClaire has accomplished and who she is for her students and colleagues, this acronym perfectly encapsulates her essence. Ms. LeClaire's library is a vibrant place filled with learning, excitement, and opportunities for our youngest learners. She crafts lessons that incorporate elements such as STEAM projects, cozy reading corners, Legos, and project-based learning through the study of hydroponics, engaging all of her students. Christine expertly balances giving students time to explore their interests while fostering a love for books. This skill is seamlessly integrated into her library, where she incorporates technology and hands-on learning through storytelling. It's not uncommon to find Christine teaching while dressed as a favorite author, in a lab coat and gray wig emulating Albert Einstein, or in a chef's uniform ready to bake up some good books with her students. While Ms. LeClaire goes the extra mile to make learning meaningful during these formative years, the lasting impact of her work is undeniable. In speaking with one of our Whitman students, he shared how Ms. LeClaire sparked his love for reading, recalling, "I still remember how Ms. LeClaire knew me so well. She knew my interests and made so many suggestions for me to explore. And from that moment, my mind knew the special power of a book." Christine is full of energy and always wears a smile. She arrives at work each day ready to make it the best day ever. Oakwood students eagerly flock to her with giant smiles, sharing their favorite books. In typical Miss LeClaire fashion, she responds with, "Oh, that's great, darling. I can't wait to see you in the library." I can't wait to see you. What a beautiful thing to say to a child. Christine is solution-driven, a quality that drew her to become a library media specialist. From her childhood fascination with Encyclopedia Brown to her current role, her love for research and finding answers is what attracted her to pursue this field in education. Miss LeClaire is a genuine team player. She collaborates closely with her Oakwood colleagues in an incredibly professional manner, always ready to introduce new units of study or research projects. Her colleagues know they can approach her at any time for creative ideas to extend her makerspace lessons into their classrooms. Miss LeClaire understands that her impact extends beyond the classroom walls. She bridges Oakwood with the South Huntington Public Library to collaborate and connect on activities and resources. Additionally, she dedicates her time to district homecoming events, Oakwood's 100th anniversary committee, SBM team, Magic Masters basketball game, PTA, and bingo night, among many other activities. As you can see, Miss LeClaire embodies FIT, F-I-T, fun, innovative, and team player. I will leave you with one fun fact about Miss LeClaire that you may not know. For several years, Christine has been on this amazing quest to connect with as many other people named Christine LeClaire all around the world. And very successfully, I might add. Christine, no matter how many other Christine LeClaires exist, there is only one you for us to celebrate this well-deserved honor. Congratulations on being Oakwood's Teacher of the Year. We are all so proud of you. I had to add that. That was funny.
I mean, Christine, my last name is Smith. I thought maybe you'd want to do some research to see if you could find any of those out there for me. They're pretty rare. At this time, it's my pleasure to introduce the principal of Birchwood Intermediate School, Mr. Dimitri Bernadelle, and Birchwood's Teacher of the Year, Carolyn Crofton.
Good evening, Dr. D'Elia, Mr. Ciapetta, Board of Education, Cabinet, South Huntington friends and family. I would like to first congratulate each honoree on their contributions to our district and being distinguished as the Teacher of the Year, especially as we celebrate our 100th year together. Now, it's with great pleasure that I introduce to you Miss Carolyn Crofton, Birchwood's Teacher of the Year. Tonight, Carolyn is joined by her husband, Brian, her son, Brian John, her daughter-in-law, Joanna, her sister-in-law, Karen, son-in-law, Pete, and longtime family friend, Suzanne. We want to thank you for sharing Carolyn with us, her Birchwood family. Simply stated, Carolyn is one of a kind. For those of you who don't know her, she is best described as a true educator, one who reaches others not only with their words, but through their actions, compassion, and sincerity. She also has the best catchphrase, "Oh my." It took me a couple of years to figure out what the "oh my's" meant and when they were good things or bad things, but I've finally figured out the trick is in the tone. Miss Crofton's impact is felt throughout Birchwood by the students, staff, and families. Carolyn is a passionate advocate for her students and a huge support to the families. She simply makes all who cross her path feel welcome and included in the South Huntington and Birchwood community. In my time working with Carolyn, I've marveled at the way she cares, both in and out of the classroom. She helps students develop their language skills, build their confidence, and empowers them to succeed. In true master teacher form, Mrs. Crofton reinvents herself. Based on the academic levels of her students, she adapts her instruction to meet their individual needs, which enables them to learn. Ms. Crofton goes above and beyond, offering extra help outside of the class, connecting with families, and advocating for her students. She dedicates countless hours to enriching the lives of our students by participating in impactful initiatives like the before and after school E&L extended day programs, Project Excel Mentor, the Summer Jumpstart program, and facilitating invaluable parent workshops. Carolyn, you need to know what you do is special. Being a new student to a building can be difficult enough, but imagine coming to a new country, not knowing a language, the culture, or anyone else being asked to find, and being asked to find the combined area of two parallelograms, which is an actual lesson that she taught the other day. You embody what it truly means to be an educator. Every day for the last 17 years, you've walked into Birchwood with a smile, and you've made it your goal to inspire each and every student, colleague, and parent. I just want to say to you, oh my, you do. Thank you and congratulations. We are so proud to call you our Birchwood Teacher of the Year.
Please help me welcoming the principal of Maplewood Intermediate School, Ms. Maria Colon, and their Teacher of the Year, Anissa Rasdale.
Good evening. Thank you, Mr. Ciapetta and the Board of Education, along with Dr. D'Elia and the Cabinet for allowing me to speak to you this evening. I congratulate all of the teachers of the year from each and every building on this very special accomplishment. I especially congratulate Maplewood's Teacher of the Year, Miss Anissa Rasdale. Ms. Rasdale is joined this evening by her parents, Deborah and Ron Coleman, and her cousins, Tamika and Yanina, her godsons, Josiah and Noah, and her very best girlfriends, because you know she has to mention her girlfriends, Renata, Patricia, Monique, and Tanya. And she's also joined by her current and former students, and of course, her Maplewood family. When I began to think about the huge task of speaking about Ms. Rasdale, I reflected on the many years that we spent together as colleagues. Quite honestly, Ms. Rasdale and I had a hard time connecting at first. I was in 3rd grade on one end of the building. She was in 5th grade on the other end of the building. And we didn't have the opportunity really to get to know each other until a former teacher, Maplewood teacher, who's probably watching us online, told us, you just have to spend more time with each other. And over the years, we did just that, and I am thrilled to have the opportunity to work with her again. I've learned that when Ms. Rasdale was younger, she wasn't encouraged to become a teacher. But Ms. Rasdale chose teaching because other professions didn't give her the reward that she needed. She wanted to make a positive difference in the world, and that she has. In fact, she's been described by colleagues as a pillar of the Maplewood family. Ms. Rasdale has a special way, a special spirit. When she works with her students, she goes the extra mile for them to not only know the content, but also she offers them words of encouragement they remember forever. A former student shared, she had the ability to connect with me and all of the students. I always felt like she saw me. She made fractions feel like a puzzle, turned history into a time-traveling adventure, and proved that science experiments weren't complete without a little mess. Whether her students are struggling or if they're more confident, Ms. Rasdale challenges them because she believes in them. She sees their potential even when they don't see it in themselves. She has the ability to make students feel seen and heard. This is especially remarkable as she continues to keep in contact with them long after they have left Maplewood. Now, anyone who has spent time with Ms. Rasdale knows that she has what I've just called recently Anissa-isms. Those phrases that belong only to her. Like when she says to her students, your focus needs more focus, or, child. Which could be shared in or out of the classroom. And all of our students here know that when she says capiche, they say, This year, Ms. Rasdale reinvented herself after being a teacher for 24 years. After working with her former partner for 16 years, she learned that he had accepted an administrative position. And let me share, she was panicked. She would ask us, myself and Ms. Villanueva, who her partner would be. and if she would be teaching science or social studies as a part of departmentalization. During the following days, she would come into the office and she would tell us who she was going to work with and what she was teaching. Well, within 5 months into the year, I could say you're an absolute superstar. Don't cry. And dare I say queen. She works with her new partner with professionalism, guidance, grace, humor, and a dedication that has always been a part of her life and her teaching career. Ms. Rasdale continues to make a difference with her students and her families as a Project Excel coordinator, PTA liaison, SEPTA member, building representative, and she participates in many, many building and district teams. So whether it's a Charlie Brown Thanksgiving where all of the students are saying what they're grateful for, or a firm yet caring private conversation to share her high expectations, Ms. Rasdale is an incredible teacher through and through. I am honored that you're our Maplewoods Teacher of the Year.
It's my pleasure to introduce the principal of Silas Wood 6th Grade Center, Mr. Stephen Toto, and their Teacher of the Year, Elaine McAtee.
Good evening, Mr. Ciapetta, members of the Board of Education, Dr. D'Elia, Cabinet, and members of the Silas Wood and South Huntington families. It is my distinct honor to stand before you tonight to talk about someone truly wonderful, our Silas Wood Teacher of the Year, Mrs. Elaine McAtee. Elaine is joined this evening by her husband, Brian, her 2 sons, Sean and Scott, her daughter, Carly, who's cheering her on from the University of Wisconsin, her mother, Lynn, her brother, Johnny, her sister-in-law, Kerry, and her niece, Liana, sorry. Oh, you're just like your aunt. A proud Walt Whitman High School alumna, thank you. Elaine has been a valued member of our faculty for 10 years. I've known Elaine for over 20 years, ever since I had the privilege of being her son, Sean's 4th grade teacher. I still remember receiving a note from her asking if she could come in and teach a lesson on Chinese New Year. After that lesson, I thought to myself, why isn't she a teacher? Well, I'm happy to say that it has been my great honor and joy to bring her onto the staff at Silas Wood, where she immediately made her presence felt, quickly earning a reputation as not only a compassionate individual, but also a stellar educator. Now, let me be clear. Ms. McAtee is not just any teacher. She's the kind of teacher who, when you walk into her room, you immediately feel like you've stepped into the most organized, well-run, and welcoming place on earth. It's almost like Staples meets Disney World. And for those of you that know her well, you know that. With her warm smile and upbeat demeanor, Ms. McAtee is a positive role model to each and every student who crosses her path. She brings her unique brand of energy to every encounter, engaging her students through creativity and innovation and enabling them to achieve their fullest potential. But Ms. McEntee's impact doesn't stop in the classroom. Whether organizing workshops, leading curriculum discussions, serving as a chef teacher rep, being part of the Wildcat Booster Club, or offering creative ideas for school-wide initiatives, she plays an integral role in shaping the district's educational culture. Her positive influence extends beyond the classroom, fostering a sense of community and collaboration that uplifts both students and colleagues. She is the very embodiment of dedication and leadership, always eager to contribute and support. So Elaine, today we celebrate you. We celebrate your ability to teach, to inspire, and yes, to color code like nobody's business. I am honored to be your principal and even more so to be your friend. Your passion for teaching, your unwavering dedication to our students, and your positive influence on our school community are truly remarkable. On behalf of everyone here, thank you for being you. Congratulations on this well-deserved recognition.
Please help me in welcoming the principal of Walt Whitman High School, Dr. John Murphy, and their Teacher of the Year, Ms. Carrie Eastwood.
I expect nothing less from Miss Tees. I mean, let's be honest. Before I even begin, would you expect anything less when you look like this going to school? Let's show it. Can you show the other picture we have real quick? Oh, is it coming? Oh, that one perfect right there. I mean, if you're going to spend that much time on your costume, you have to be doing a good job teaching. Dr. D'Elia, Dr. D'Elia, Mr. Ciapetta, board, cabinet, and all esteemed members in the audience. It is with immense pride and joy that I stand before you tonight to celebrate an extraordinary educator, mentor, pillar of our community. Please join me in congratulating Miss Carrie Eastwood as Walt Whitman High School's Teacher of the Year. Now, if you haven't noticed by Miss Eastwood's face, she's a little shy. We have a bet she's going to turn as red as the walls. Miss Eastwood's journey with South Huntington is nothing short of remarkable, rooted in a legacy that began even before her birth. Her father was a proud graduate of Walt Whitman High School and set the foundation for what would become a lifelong bond with our community. Carrie herself is a shining example of what it means to grow within the South Huntington family and give back to it. A graduate of Walt Whitman High School, class of 1997, she carried forward her passion for education, earning her degree in elementary and special education. For the last 22 years, Miss Eastwood has been an integral part of our faculty, bringing unparalleled dedication, compassion, a little laughter, and expertise to her role as a special education teacher. She has a unique ability to connect with her students. It's almost magical. She understands what they need. She tailors her instruction. She shows empathy. She shows caring. Most of all, she shows that they are the most important people in that room. Whether she's breaking down something for earth science concepts, dressing up in her zany garb to get her students active and going, or encouraging her students to persevere through life's challenges. Miss Eastwood's unwavering belief in their potential is evident each and every day. Her warmth, her patience, her creativity make her classroom a safe and inspiring place where learning flourishes and students succeed. But what truly makes Miss Eastwood apart from her is her commitment to go beyond the role of a teacher. She's a mentor, an advocate, a role model. It is not uncommon to see her working with other students, administrators, with PPP, molding them, guiding them. Her colleagues often comment about her collaborative spirit and her dedication to enhancing her educational experiences for all. She's actively looking for opportunities to engage with families, strengthen that partnership between the home and school. Time and time again, Carrie has been described by those who know her best as one of the most selfless people you will ever meet. Her kindness, compassion, and generosity resonate deeply with students, parents, and colleagues alike. As a proud mother of 3, Mason and Michael here tonight, as well as, interesting enough, her 2nd grade best friend, 2nd grade. It kind of shows that when people get to know Carrie, they stick around. It's because she always sticks around to them, to be that supportive structure, that caring mother, that personable friend, whatever they need to be to find that success. Miss Eastwood's connection to our district is both personal and profound. When asked why she remained in South Huntington, the answer was simple, yet it resonates each and every day with her lessons and the people she comes into contact with. Because it's my home and I care. Miss Eastwood's love for teaching her students and the Walt Whitman community shines each and every day. Her dedication and passion inspire each and every one of us at Walt Whitman to strive for that excellence, to lead with kindness, and don't forget, to always have empathy. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in a well-deserved round of applause for Walt Whitman High School's Teacher of the Year, Miss Carrie Eastwood.
There you go. All right. At this time, it's my pleasure to introduce Stimson Middle School's principal, Mr. Michael Duggan, and our South Huntington Teacher of the Year, Miss Eileen D'Amato.
Good evening, Dr. D'Elia, cabinet members, Mr. Ciapetta, and our Board of Education, colleagues, friends, and families. I'm overjoyed to be here tonight as we gather to celebrate an extraordinary individual who has made an indelible mark on the lives of countless students, her colleagues, and families within our community. Aristotle once said, "Educating the mind without educating the heart is no education at all." That statement rings completely true when I think of Eileen D'Amato, the Stimson Middle School and South Huntington School District's Teacher of the Year. Eileen brings compassion and love into her classroom every single day. She ensures that her students feel supported, cared for, and loved before anything else. There is no learning without this important human connection that she delivers every single day. Eileen is not only a dedicated educator, but also a cornerstone of Stimson Middle School, where she has served with passion and commitment since 2008 as a special education teacher. Her daily presence radiates positivity and compassion, creating a nurturing and inspiring environment for everyone that she encounters. Her ability to connect with her students, to see their potential, and to guide them toward success is nothing short of remarkable. Eileen's journey to education is as inspiring as her work in the classroom. Before becoming a teacher, she had a successful corporate career in HR management. Very nice. Yet she felt the calling to make a deeper impact. One that led her, sorry, yeah. You had your turn. One that led her to the field of education, a decision that has profoundly enriched our community. For more than 30 years, Eileen has called this community home, alongside her husband Peter and their children Kristen and Michael. Eileen is joined tonight by her husband Peter and her daughter Kristen. Unfortunately, Michael could not join us tonight in person, but he's watching the live stream in California, so there's Michael up there somewhere. I have to go off script for just a moment, because in typical Eileen fashion, we were just talking a little while ago, and we were talking about Lauren, who is Michael's girlfriend, who is also joining us tonight. Where's Lauren? Where are you? Okay, Lauren, we like you very much, so Michael, let's go, buddy. Let's go. Let's get a ring on it. Let's go. No pressure, no pressure. Eileen's roots here run deep, and her love for this community is evident in everything she does. She's not just a teacher, but also a neighbor, a mentor, and a friend to many. Speaking of second grade friends, Miss D'Amato's second grade friend is also joining us tonight, so what an ironic thing. That's very nice. Yeah, yes, very nice. Eileen's colleagues speak of her with admiration, describing her as a beacon of encouragement and kindness. Her students, many of whom face unique challenges, see her as a trusted advocate who believe in their abilities even when they struggle to see it within themselves. Eileen's compassion and steadfast belief in the power of education have touched lives in ways that words can't fully capture. Eileen, your contributions extend far beyond the walls of your classroom. You embody the heart and soul of what it means to be a true educator. You have enriched our school, uplifted our students, and inspired your colleagues to strive for excellence. Beyond all of that, I really appreciate you because of your kindness and your deadpan humor. My favorite story of Eileen began my very first week at Stimson. I brought in treats for the entire staff, just as a little icebreaker to get to know everyone. That week was an absolute whirlwind. I was trying my best to learn the names of everyone and figure out where I was going. I didn't know where the 100 wing was or even my office. To say I was dizzy by the end of that week would be a true understatement. I received an email that very first weekend. And it was short and it was sweet, and it read something to the effect of, "It was so nice to meet you, and thank you so much for the delicious brownies." And so my cynicism took over a little bit, and I thought, wow, this person's really trying to kiss up to the new guy. But I read it again, and I thought it was just kind. And the email, even though it wasn't the longest thing, it just exuded kindness. And that's what Eileen is all about. So I thought, there's no ulterior motive in this email. And so I shared the email with my wife. She baked the brownies, so she loves that good, positive feedback. She loves to hear good things about her baking. She's excellent, hence all of this. So I said to my wife, Eileen sent me the nicest note about your brownies. She said, that's so nice. Who's Eileen? I go, I have no idea. Now, it gets better. So as we are meeting through this whole process, fast forward a few years, I'm sitting with Eileen in my office. We're talking about the brownie story. And Eileen laughed and she said, actually, it was crumb cake, and I sent that email because I wanted more. So there was an ulterior motive. Eileen, you're an absolute gem. We are so excited for you tonight for this special recognition. On behalf of the entire South Huntington community, we thank you for your unwavering dedication and congratulate you on this well-deserved recognition as both the Stimson Teacher of the Year and the District Teacher of the Year. You're a true treasure to our schools, to this town, and we're endlessly grateful for all that you do. Thank you, Eileen, for being a shining example of the transformative power of teaching. You've made and continue to make a difference every single day. So congratulations, and everyone please join me in a loud round of applause for Eileen D'Amato.
Thank you so much, everybody. I am incredibly honored and humbled to stand here tonight. My heart is truly filled with gratification as the recipient of District Teacher of the Year, South Huntington. I want to begin by thanking our Superintendent, Dr. D'Elia, Mr. Ciapetta, and members of our Board of Education, and members of the Cabinet for honoring all teachers here tonight. I want to also thank Stimson's principal, Mr. Duggan, and assistant principals, Mr. Tomio, Mr. DeMartinez, and Ms. Keating, and all other administrators in the district for their leadership and for always being there to support us all. I want to especially thank Mrs. Karen Musshorn, Special Education Chairperson, for your professionalism and guidance, which has clearly been the backbone of my success as an integrated special education co-teacher. Your fun-loving personality, which makes you so approachable, is a gift that I have always cherished and so needed every single day. Thank you to all my colleagues for writing letters of recommendation in the midst of your busy lives. I always appreciate you all. I want to thank my husband, Peter, my daughter, Kristen, and Alex, and we love you too, Alex, and my son, Mike, and Lauren, for always being there and supporting me during my tenure here as an educator. Thank you to my parents, my brother Bob and his wife Janet for their unconditional love. Thank you to all my friends and colleagues for coming out tonight to cheer me on. Next, to the parents of our students, thank you for trusting us with your children. Your partnership and support make all the difference. But most of all, I want to thank my amazing students. Oh, by the way, very funny. When my students heard of this award, they said, "Oh, does this mean we get snacks now?" Just kidding, but they would say that. Seriously, my students, you are the reason I am here. You inspire me each and every day with your resilience, creativity, and humor. I adore each and every one of you. Your smiles, your honesty. Yes, middle schoolers speak their mind. Not kidding. And your ability to keep progressing every single day. This is what keeps me going to be the best I can be. This award is not only for me. I am representing all the teachers in our district and everywhere. As teachers, our jobs are not easy. However, it is the gratitude we experience that reminds us of why we continue to give our all to this noble profession. When a struggling student grasps a new concept, when a student who has lacked academic confidence starts to participate and thrive in our classes, feeling comfortable to take that risk, when a student's grades improve and we see the sense of pride in the student's smile, and even when a student feels comfortable to share about not having a good day and appreciates our efforts to be a good listener. The smiles on the faces of our students are what encourages us to keep striving to be the best teachers we can be. And in special education, we don't just teach content, we teach confidence. My students teach me that every challenge comes with a unique set of opportunities. They have taught me to stop focusing on what people can't do and start asking, what are you amazing at? I did not start my career in teaching. I spent many years in corporate America in New York City. I was enjoying my work and the excitement of thriving in the Big Apple, and I thought that that was the best. Then one day I experienced a revelation at work, which led me into a very different direction. As human resources manager, I had been put in charge of Take Your Daughter to Work Day. I stood in front of the large conference room with all these little faces staring at me, and I was scared. Not kidding. However, as each manager presented their speech before my turn, I observed they were losing the interest of the children. So I took a risk. Again, really scared. I switched from reading my speech to asking the children questions such as, what do you want to be when you grow up and why? They were excited to raise their hands and share their ideas. The children were then more motivated to engage in the activities of the day. There was one girl, and her name was Lauren, who was particularly interested in learning about what my role was. She stayed in my group all day and learned all about my job. Her mom told me that Lauren was going through a tough time, but she was able to have a great time that day, learning about my position in the company. Lauren sent me letters through the years to let me know how she was progressing in her life. Although I loved my human resources career, I knew that day that I needed to be elsewhere where I eventually made it to, teaching in this outstanding school district. There is nothing better than this. Having a career where every minute of every day, my goal is to make a positive difference in the life of a child. It is interesting how life is, as we are often led by circumstances to see what our true roles should be. I am so fortunate to have been led to teaching by Lauren that day. The last 16 years teaching in South Huntington have been the most rewarding years of my life. I need to quote my husband here, Peter D'Amato, who often says, it's not always about where you begin in life. What matters is that you land where you are supposed to be. I am ecstatic that I landed where I was meant to be. I've lived in South Huntington for 30 years, and my own children had the privilege of attending this district. I am proud to say they have both grown into successful adults, both professionally and personally. From every teacher they have had, they learned patience, respect, kindness, and the value and rewards of hard work. Through my experiences with my own children attending South Huntington, I can honestly say the teachers in our district are truly exceptional. As an integrated special education co-teacher, I need to acknowledge that it is the content teachers I taught with who are also so deserving of recognition. Throughout the years, I have had the privilege of learning from the absolute best of the best. A special shout out to Erin Braun, who I taught with for the first several years at Stimson. You supported me in every way, and I need you to know I could not have made it this far without your expertise. I taught every subject with many teachers, and each one of you are such talented professionals, and I learned so much from you. Mr. Morris, Mrs. Villano, Mr. Cars, Mr. Palumbo, Dr. Kazanjian, Mrs. Scavo, Mrs. Pascucci, Mrs. Voorhees, Mr. Connolly, and Ms. Prasad. I have to say, oh, Mr. Gunsel, right. I can't forget about him. I've been co-teaching with him the longest, 12 years. And I can't believe he still wants to teach with me after all these years of me bossing him around. I'm kidding. No, I'm not. With all my co-teachers, our students could have fun while learning without ever deviating from our high expectations. I have taught in every school in our district and can only say positive things. I was a substitute teacher, did leave replacements, and was a part-time teacher as well. I finally landed at Stimson, which is where I was meant to be. 15 years ago, I went through a cancer journey, and because of the staff at Stimson, lifting me up through chemotherapy and radiation treatments, I was able to report to work every single day, knowing that whatever may happen, I will have the support of everyone looking out for me. This is what made me able to forge through with a positive attitude and with the strength that was given to me from everyone at Stimson, and my family, of course. When all staff show compassion and support to one another, it can only trickle down to a positive vibe that the kids feel. Such a remarkable place. The people at Stimson were not afraid to embrace me and encourage me to get through a rough time. A magical place for sure. Now back to the present happier place. I want to acknowledge the hard work and dedication of all the workers at Stimson, the school psychologists, guidance counselors, social workers, substitute teachers, custodians, nurses, teaching assistants, paraprofessionals, and office workers. At Stimson and all the other schools, we are a community, always supporting each other to ultimately trickle down to the best interest of all our students. I'm almost done. To my students, past and present, thank you for your hard work and dedication to your successes now and in the future. I adore each and every one of you. Always recognize your strengths. Pay attention to what signals you get that confirms what your strengths are. Go out of your comfort zone. You'll be happy to learn the amazing things you are capable of. Trust me when I say I am not in my comfort zone right now, publicly speaking up here, but somehow I am doing it. Go out there and work toward getting what you want in your life. You can do it. No kidding. I love you all. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Congratulations.
Oh, what is this?
This is your apple field.
Oh,
Beautiful.
isn't that the
This
funnest?
is yours. Yes, this one's loose, so be careful.
Oh, my
It's
goodness.
very heavy,
Thank
too.
you so much.
Congratulations.
Oh, thank you. That is so
Congratulations.
Thank you.
We have
Oh,
the
my
box for you, too.
goodness
Beautiful
gracious.
flowers for you. Congratulations.
Oh,
And I
thank
loved
you.
your speech.
Thank you, thank you.
It was
I
so
really appreciate
meaningful,
that.
very inspirational.
Oh, my goodness. Thank you.
Can
Wow.
you hold everything?
Sure. Okay, thank you.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm a little on the shaky side over
Well,
here.
it's not attached. I said to Nick, be careful giving it
Oh,
to her
I'm
because
so going down. Oh, thank you so much for saying that.
Yes, yes.
Very sweet. Thank you so much. Oh,
And
boy.
it's not so well deserved.
Oh, thank you.
So well
Thank you.
deserved.
Thank you. Wow,
Yes.
it's just crazy.
So
Crazy.
well deserved.
Oh, thank you. Oh, everybody's up here. Oh.
I'm coming down. Okay.
Thank you for everything.
Oh, wait, I'm going on this side?
I would ask if all the teachers of the year could please stay up in the front, please. Stay. Yes, let me see if I can gather teachers of the year.
I love the email. The frazzled woman in the lobby. I was like, not at all. Not at all. You wouldn't have all the t-shirts.
Just making sure we have everybody, Rena. Yes.
So I'm gonna leave it there because they'll yell at me.
Carrie, first, I just want to say congratulations.
I was laughing. I go, how did he put two and two together?
So first of all, I didn't know if you know I'm the president.
Yes, I
I've been
do.
there
Yes.
about 20 years.
Yes.
Well, my wife called me from North Carolina today. She's like, I don't know if you know, but I saw on Facebook that Carrie Eastwood is Team of the Year.
All right, we're almost ready for our board meeting. You're all welcome to stay, but all right. All right, we're going to move on to the business portion of our agenda. Take a motion to adopt the agenda. Mr. Bronson, seconded by Mr. Scragg. Any questions on the agenda? All in favor? Any opposed? All right, items E through H require one resolution for adoption. Motion. Mr. Joyner, second. Ms. LaCara. Those are our minutes, financial items. We do not have any bids, and our bills. All in favor? Any opposed? Resolution is carried 6-0. And by the way, Ms. Meyer was unable to make it tonight. She's under the weather. She sends her regrets. This is her favorite event of the year, but she was not feeling well. All right, no communications are listed. Move on to new business. We have new business item number 1, which is a request to remain in the South Huntington School District. Matter discussed in executive session. Motion. Mr. Scragg, seconded by Mr. Bronson. Are there any questions on it? All right, so we'll take a vote. All those in favor of the request to remain? All those opposed to the request? All right, the request to remain is denied for the students listed. Moving on to item number 2 is the approval of the annual single audit report for the fiscal year ending June 30th, 2024. Motion. Mr. Bronson, seconded by Mr. Biangasso. Mr. Conway.
Thank you, Mr. Ciapetta. Tonight for the board's approval is our annual federal single audit report for the year ended June 30th, 2024. This is a required audit for us since we received $750,000 or more in federal grant money. This past year, we expended just over $9 million in federal grants, and this year our external auditors, R.S. Abrams, focused on the FEMA and the IDEA grants totaling over $3 million. The report was reviewed and discussed in detail at our audit committee meeting on January 13th. I'm happy to report the district received a clean, unqualified opinion and that there were no corrective actions to be taken.
Thank you, Mr. Conway. Any questions? All in favor? Any opposed? All right, moving on to item number 3 is the approval of an agreement between the South Huntington School District and Utility Check Limited. Motion. Mr. Bronson, seconded by Mr. Scragg. Mr. Conway again.
Thank you. Tonight for approval is the request to enter an agreement between the district and Utility Check Limited. In audit committee and in consultation with our claims auditors, Serini and Associates, it was advised that the district pursue an audit of utilities, electric and gas, just a routine review. This company would examine our billings and look for opportunities to save money and or identify potential errors in billings from the utility companies themselves. And the concept would be similar to when one grieves their taxes. The fee would be to the firm of 50% of any savings they identify, otherwise it would be nothing. And if findings are identified going forward, we keep that at that point.
Okay. Any questions for Mr. Conway? Mr.
Bronson. I would just emphasize again, just to make the point clear, it is at no cost to the district to conduct this audit.
Okay. Any other questions, comments? All in favor? Any opposed? All right. Moving on to the next item. Thank you to the Mr. Conway and the audit committee to bring that to our attention. New business item number 4 is the approval of agreement between South Huntington and Heartland Payment Systems for the My School Bucks program. Motion. Mr. Joyner, seconded by Mr. Scragg. Mr. Conway again.
Thank you. So tonight up for consideration is the approval to enter into an agreement with Heartland Payment Systems utilizing their My School Bucks online payment platform. The vendor is New York State Ed Law 2D compliant with respect to student data and privacy. They are one of, if not the most common payment platform used by school districts. The intent here is to make it easier for families to pay for various student events throughout the district and throughout the course of the year, and should reduce the need for both student and staff to carry cash and or checks to school.
Thank you, Mr. Conway. What type of things do we anticipate the students and parents using this for?
This could be anything from the Adventureland trip to senior banquets and,
Oh, wow.
you know,
Okay.
a whole host of items that could
Okay.
happen throughout the buildings.
And how does the money get routed to its final destination?
So each type of event would be pre-routed with them. After tonight, we have a meeting with them where if it's event A or event B, behind the scenes, it's mapped to that particular bank account. And then there's reports generated saying family A, B, and C made payment, and so on and so forth.
Oh, interesting. Okay. Excellent. Sorry, one other question. Is that done through like an app or?
It's an online. I
Oh.
don't believe it's an app.
Not an app. Okay. Okay. Other questions? Yes, Mr. Joyner.
This is a new application, I believe, introduced into the district.
It was used many years ago through schools, the cafeteria program.
Okay.
And at that point, it was run through BOCES. That service is no longer available through BOCES, so it would be new for this program.
In
now.
this iteration.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions? Mr.
I
Scragg?
just have a statement. When it was used for nutrition services, for lunches, there was an app that you could use, so I don't know.
Okay. I could follow up. They haven't mentioned it at all in our phone calls with them, but I could ask.
All right. Any other questions, comments? All in favor? Any opposed? Okay. Unanimously approved. Moving on to new business. Item number 6 is the approval of a budget transfer in excess of newly revised board policy motion. Mr. Bronson, seconded by Mr. Scragg. Mr. Conway.
Okay, tonight there's a request to approve 3 individual budget transfers above the policy limit of $35,000. The first one for $56,710. This is to cover the traffic study, which the board approved at the last meeting. The next one is $60,000 even. That's going to PKF O'Connor. That's our accounting firm, who's working on a project regarding IRS tax credits that are likely available to the district regarding our EPC project. And the last one is approximately $44,000 to cover costs to SCO Family Services for student needs resulting from their IEP.
Okay. Questions? All in favor? Any opposed? All right. Item is adopted. Moving on to new business. Item number 6 is the approval of a grant from Stop and Shop for the district pantry, for the Waldman High School pantry motion. Mr. Biangasso, seconded by Mr. Scragg. Dr. D'Elia.
Yes, Stop and Shop has once again selected Walt Whitman High School to receive $10,000 in Stop and Shop gift cards, which is also $40,000 to date that they have donated to us. This program will help support our high school food pantry and Wildcat Cares, which is located at the high school, and will continue to serve as the main distribution for all schools in the district. I'd like to also thank Gina Lenine, who reapplied for this grant back in December, and it was started by her daughter. First name, Joe? Christina Lenine. She started it, so, and it keeps going, and $10,000 is very generous towards our community.
Great. Okay. Any questions? All in favor? Any opposed? All right, moving on to new business item 7, approval of agreement between South Huntington and the Deer Park Union Free School District. Motion. Mr. Scragg, seconded by Mr. Bronson. Mr. Lombardo.
Thank you, Mr. Ciapetta, for the board's approval. This special education service contract between the South Huntington Union Free School District, the District of Residence, and the Deer Park Union Free School District, the District of Location, is for special education services provided for a South Huntington resident who is parentally placed in a non-public school within the boundaries of the Deer Park School District. This contract is for one South Huntington resident attending Our Lady of Guadalupe Catholic School in Deer Park and receiving special education services for the 2024-2025 school year.
Okay. Any questions? All in favor? Any opposed? All right. New business 8, approval of an agreement between the South Huntington School District and Smart Web Incorporated. Motion. Mr. Scragg, seconded by Mr. Biangasso. Ms. Kavanaugh.
Thank you, Mr. Ciapetta. For the board's approval tonight is a consultant agreement with Smart Web Inc. This is a continuation of an agreement that we have had with them this school year, and it is for services related to our network systems, patch management, etc.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Kavanaugh, any questions? All in favor? Any opposed? It's approved unanimously. Moving on to new business item number 9, excuse me, approval of a confidentiality and data security and privacy agreement. Motion. Mr. Scraggs, seconded by Mr. Biagasso and Mr. Bronson. Dr. Hender.
Thank you, Mr. Ciapetta. Tonight for the board's approval, we have confidentiality, data security, and privacy agreements with 3 vendors to ensure that our student data is kept private and EdLaw 2D compliant.
Okay, thank you. Questions? All in favor? Any opposed? All right. Moving on to item 10 is the final item of new business, recommendations for the placements of students by the committees on special education and the committee on preschool special education, dates listed throughout the school year. Motion. Mr. Bronson, seconded by Mr. Scragg. All in favor? Any opposed? All right. Moving on to personnel. We have personnel schedule 7, 9, 11, 13, 15, 16, 22. Motion. Mr. Scragg, second. Mr. Joyner. Questions? All in favor? Any opposed? And any recusals? All right. Motion carries 5-0 with 1 recusal. The recusal is Mr. Bronson. Moving on to, we have personnel reports we have, that are listed. Committee reports. We have a number of committee reports. We'll start with the audit committee. Mr. Bronson.
Thank you, Mr. Ciapetta. As Mr. Conway mentioned, the audit committee met back on January 13th. We did cover the single claim federal audit report that Mr. Conway already covered. We also went through our claims reports, and we also got an update as far as our ongoing audit of our facilities department. So it was a good meeting, and that's where things stand.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Bronson. Moving on to item number 2, which is our Transportation Savings Committee. As we mentioned last time, our limited purpose committees are starting up now, and in each board meeting we'll be having an update on them. So our Transportation Savings Committee, Mr. Conway.
Sure, thank you. Dr. Murphy and I held our first meeting last Monday, January 13th. We were able to have an open dialogue with the various volunteers that offered their time to the committee and hear what's important to them, ranging things from student safety, routing, various costs. Our next meeting is going to be February 5th at 4 p.m. in the Leadership Conference Room, and we look forward to the continued cooperation and communication with them in a few weeks.
Okay, great. Thank you for the update. Questions on the Transportation Savings Committee? Okay, thank you. Moving on to our Universal Pre-K Committee, Dr. Hender.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Ciapetta. We had our first meeting last week. It was a great meeting. We are planning a field trip coming up in 2 meetings, February, where we will be visiting our first of 2 buildings. We'll be visiting Silas Wood, and we will be evaluating that for a potential UPK center.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Hender. Dr. Hender. All right, future meetings are listed. Our next meeting is February 12th. It's our only February meeting. We'll be presenting a budget overview. I'll have a few more words on that in a moment. Then we have meetings on March 5th and 19th. Comments by board members. Mr. Scragg.
Yes, I would just, excuse me, I'd like to just briefly congratulate the winners of our Suffolk Region Reflections contest. Reflections is an art competition for students in our district and other districts in Suffolk County. This year, we have 24 winners at the Suffolk level that will be moving on to state competitions. And because they put in some hard work, I just want to quickly mention their names. Julianne Meyer, Ariel Cohen, Eliza Bobker, Jackson Snyder, Isabella Betancourt, Brian Lowe, Kai Montgomery, Sienna Lever, Victoria Alms, Amelia Garcia, Patrick Asierno, Matthew Risotto, Carly LaHaye, Finn Verdolino, Carter Garcia, Lexi Holzweiss, Lena Peroni, London Palota, Olivia Stewart, and Braden McKay Elliott, and Gianna Pentina. So I just want to congratulate all of our winners and wish them luck going into the state rounds.
Thank you, Mr. Scragg. Congratulations. Other comments? Mr. Bronson.
I just wanted to again briefly congratulate all of our teachers. In addition, I want to thank Gracie for the beautiful piece that she played as someone who somehow when I changed school districts got put into the viola and to the orchestra, and I faked viola for 2 years just watching everybody's bows. I'm very impressed by people who can actually play string instruments. So congratulations, Gracie. Wonderful job.
Thank you, Mr. Bronson. Other comments by board members? Mr. Scragg. Oh, Mr. Biagasso.
Yes, I just would like to also echo everybody's sentiments tonight. First of all, just was a wonderful celebration of all the good things that are going on in our district. And over the past week, I've actually been lucky to kind of see a lot of the things going on here. I was blessed to take a walk through the high school halls with Dr. Murphy and Dr. D'Elia last week, see wonderful things going on there. Got to visit, actually got to attend the Tri-County Bowling Championship and got to see some of our wonderful student athletes there. And was very fortunate enough to get to see the Birchwood Winter Concert. And I was very impressed that in a 5th grade class, more than half the students were involved. So I think that's a wonderful attribute to those students involved in the arts and all the wonderful things going on in the district. We know these things are going on, but when you get to see them firsthand, you just get to see a better indication of just what makes us the best district in Long Island. I know that sounds biased, but it's true.
The truth is not biased. Other comments by board members? A couple updates on, we've got some news out of Albany. The governor gave her State of the Union address last week, and today followed the release of her executive budget. A couple notable things in education-wise that were in the budget, and something notable that was not. We saw this year a general increase of education aid of about 4% throughout the state. On Long Island, it was 4.68%, Nassau County with 5.22%, and Suffolk with 4.14%. Interestingly, our percentage increase was a little less than those averages, which was surprising to see. Statewide, one of the big drivers of the budget was Medicaid costs went up over 14%. So that was obviously dramatic. Education costs not keeping pace with that, certainly. But unlike last year, we didn't see any cuts to Save Harmless, and so this seemed more like a standard budget year, which was surprising given all the talk that had been had in the prior year about the Rockefeller report and what it would mean for foundation aid. So far, it didn't seem to mean too much. The other major item of educational news that came out was the governor supporting a ban on or decrease on usage of smartphones during the school day, or as the proposed laws called, use of internet-enabled devices during the school day. We were able to get a copy of this bill today. A little surprising in a couple ways. We had expected that there would be a lot of local control over this. There was some, but not as much as we expected. We also thought it would not be as specific as it is. We thought that it would leave a policy creation to the district so long as students were not using phones during educational time. This proposed bill does go much further than that. It essentially amounts to a ban on usage throughout the whole school day, really. So we'll see if this is passed in final form like this, but it won't leave all that much room for local control other than figuring out how to implement the ban. What was not in the budget was anything to do with zero-emission school buses and that mandate, which is ticking closer. It's something that nobody expects to become a reality, but there has been still no legislation or proposal to repeal or delay. I was reading an interesting article on this. The issues that face school districts with respect to zero-emission buses have not lessened since the law went into effect. If anything, they've gotten worse. The prices have increased for the buses, and the challenges remain. So there's just virtually no way that this is going to happen, but hopefully our leaders in Albany will face that reality sooner rather than later and give districts relief from something that may be well-intentioned but is completely misplayed and poorly thought out. So we'll continue to follow that and continue to advocate for that and speak to our elected officials, particularly Assemblyman Stern, to see what he's hearing from Albany. Dr. D'Elia.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Ciapetta. First off, I'd like to thank Ed Smith and his team for doing a wonderful job tonight and having one of our most special board meetings of the year each year. So I know there's a lot of work involved, and your team did a wonderful job, and obviously you at the top there, orchestrating everything. Great night. Thank you. Also, I had a chance to go see Mickey this weekend. More importantly, I was able to see the marching band down in Disney at Magic Kingdom, and I can say they were unbelievable. And, you know, when we were told they were marching in the parade, we thought there would be other groups there or, you know, Disney productions. It was just Whitman that marched. Made it even more special. So I've been down there numerous times, and I've seen numerous parades, but to actually march in it was something special. And our students did an unbelievable job. They made us really, South Huntington, really, really proud. And, you know, I'm extremely happy at the way everything turned out because the weather wasn't so kind at one point. And as I was on the phone with Dr. Murphy, who was there as well, we didn't know, you know, was it going to be 8 o'clock at night? Going to be 3 o'clock in the day? And the sun never really came out, but the rain stopped. And we were able to have it as scheduled at 2:30, and they were great. And it was a pleasure to be down there supporting them. So very proud of our group. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Moving on to comments by our ex officio student board member, Gracie. Congratulations. What a fantastic job again. Thank you so much for adding some musicality to our special ceremony tonight.
Thank you so much, Mr. Chiapetta, and thank you to Mr. Hendrick, who's lending me his microphone because my battery ran out and I must have overworked my mic, so. But I won't make this too long. I know everyone's been here for a while, but I would like to personally congratulate all the teachers who were honored today. It's their success that really shows how great of a district this is, and it's the teachers, like those who were honored today, that have made my school experiences just better than I could have imagined. So, congratulations to everyone. There's just a few reminders I'd like to share, but before that, I do want to acknowledge our Birchwood and Maplewood students who did an amazing job in their production of Seussical last week. I did go to see the Birchwood performance, and I was impressed, to say the least. I'm just really proud to see these students having the courage and determination to get on stage because it's not easy. Even our board members, I think they can understand what it's like to be in front of an audience, and it's a really good skill. So I was glad to have seen this show. Now, for two quick reminders, the second semester of this year will start Monday the 27th, and that same week we will be off for Lunar New Year, which is on a Wednesday. Additionally, as I've mentioned in past meetings, we do have senior banquet coming up on the 31st. It's 6 to 9 at the Bethpage Heritage Club. If you haven't gotten tickets, I recommend speaking to a senior class officer. Maybe Dr. Murphy could talk a little bit more because I'm not sure if they stopped selling completely. They did? Okay. So if you haven't gotten tickets, I'm really sorry, but you cannot talk to a senior class officer because we're not selling them. Also, just to mention, Whitman has seen a lot of accomplishments in terms of sports this year, so I'll talk a little bit about this. Our boys and girls, there's 2 wrestling teams for boys and girls, and they've been doing really well this season, and our seniors were actually just celebrated this past week, so congratulations to those students. I'm going to leave it at that for tonight, but there's definitely a bit more I hope to discuss in next meeting, which will come up fast. This school year has been flying, but yeah, I hope everyone has a good night.
Thank you, Gracie. All right, voice of the residents. Open. All right, take a motion to adjourn. Mr. Bronson, seconded by Mr. Scragg. Any questions? All in favor? Any opposed? All right, good evening, everyone.